Hi everyone, my name is College Sports Survived and thanks for joining me today on our College Hoops 2K Legacy Mode journey. Season 3 continues today, episode number 27. Coach Carter's Fordham Rams recently wrapped up non-conference play last episode with an impressive resume, 12 games, 10 wins, including a 5-game win streak, the longest of the series. And if you've stuck around throughout the entirety of this series and suffered through the losing, we're starting to reward you. But the real work begins today as A10 play tips off here in episode 27. Outside of this third season, we really have not done a whole lot of winning in conference play especially. It's been the most unfriendly for us. 3-13 record in year 1, followed by a 5-11 showing in year 2, so 8 conference wins in 2 total seasons. You hope that there's no place to go but up when you have programs like Temple and St. Louis and the reigning champions, the Charlotte 49ers, who all enter as top 25 teams this episode. Who knows what might happen. And guess what? Fordham has the fortune to play the returning A10 champs, not only to open A10 ball, but twice in a week and a half span. Yikes. No top 25 wins in this series for Coach Carter to this point, nor does he have a win against the 49ers, who entered the game as the second best scoring offense and rebounding team in the Atlantic 10. They were upset by Florida A&M and then lost by a bucket to Virginia Tech, who's made a Final Four in this series before. Outside of that, been dominance for the 49ers. And leading the way for these guys is a preseason All-American. Let me flash you back to episode 24, year 3's opening episode, as I introduce you to possibly the best center in college basketball.
We've come to the part of the show when we look at the top players in the nation and unveil the list of our preseason All-Americans. There before you are the 5 first-team All-Americans as we begin the season, and what a list it is.
Perry is going to have his own personal highlight reel by the end of this season. There's plenty to like about him as a player. He's got that deadly combination of smarts and physical skills that makes him so difficult to defend. A coach's mentality in the body of a world-class athlete. Any questions as to why he's on the list?
DeAndre Perry, 6'10", 258 pounds, 88 overall, top 3 scorer and shot blocker in the conference, mocked to be a first-round pick in the upcoming NBA draft. He's a perfect modern-day NBA big, great around the rim, knockdown three-point shooter, excellent paint protector and shot changer. He's also extraordinary at running the floor. He is one of the best players we've faced ever on this channel, a matchup nightmare in all aspects. And with that in mind, I think this is the perfect time to deploy the new defensive scheme we worked on last episode. In case you missed it, Coach Carter's pretty much ran man-to-man in the entirety of this series, but with the firepower that these teams have in the front court around the league, we've been working on 3-2 and 2-3 zones to limit post-ups and mix-up appearances. And going with a 3-2 zone today and forcing other players to beat us may be able to exploit Charlotte's lack of three-point shooting, as Bennett Pincala surprisingly wins the tip over the projected NBA lottery pick. So let's check in with the Rams' first offensive possession. We'll watch this one through and through and to see what they do to combat the league's second-ranked defense, the Charlotte 49ers, allowing just over 50 points a game as Higgins gives it off to Swanson, and looking back door, nice vision by the power forward. Higgins gets us off and running, and Fordham has the first basket of the night. Charlotte comes into this game 16th ranked team in the country, 9 wins and 11 tries as we set up the 3-2 zone for the first time. Got a deflection early, but it's Don Blaylock taking advantage of the defense out of sync there, going backdoor as the only other underclassman in the lineup records the first score for Charlotte as McIntosh, their point guard, off the mark, but the putback on this time, it is successfully cashed in upon by Logan Bowen, who is one of 3 forwards on this team who average at least 13 points a game. You got the 6'10 junior DeAndre Perry, obviously the All-American. Logan Bowen's a 6'8 senior who averages 15, and number 25 Nathan Lutz, a 6'7 forward who averages 13 and leads his team in rebounds. He wears number 25. So 3 guys to look out upon as a lot of this team's scoring comes inside the paint. Speaking of which, Bennett Pincala has an answer as he has a offensive rebound snatched up and put back. Nicely done there. Bennett Pincala was a bit of an afterthought last episode. He was actually outshined, in my opinion, by Corey Terrell, but looking to get things going today against one of the best big men in the country is Pincala. Good contest, but there is your first sighting of DeAndre Perry. First team preseason All-American in our conference, and this kid is something special. If I do another College Sports Survived draft class like I did on NBA 2K21 where I recreate some of the best channel legends, Yeah, I think he's going to have to be definitely on the next one we do, as he closes down the interior against Preston Murphy. No good on his first 2 attempts from the field today, as Perry pulls up in transition. Oh my goodness. There's really nothing this kid can't do. There he is, getting the stop on Murphy and then running the floor, beating most of the Rams up the other side. And it's successfully made. And now a little pick and roll, the post up against Pennapinkala. Perry is off to a great start, 9 points. But here we go with Pennapinkala. Quick up the other direction, great vision and decision making by Hendry to give it to him so quickly, as my boy Bennett is off to a great start today. Here is his 7th point out of 11 from Fordham, as Dustin Black checks in early with Preston Murphy's early struggles. Here we go. We'll check in with Corey Terrell. He's got the mismatch. He was the star last episode. He dropped a career high against ECU, but this time it's off the mark, as here is Kirkland Evans, the backup point guard, 6'2" freshman at Augusta, Georgia, for the 49ers. Perry brings 2 defenders, and that in turn leaves Don Blaylock wide open from the corner. Obviously, a guy like DeAndre Perry commands so much attention, and this is not a very good 3-point shooting team, but with just how much attention he brings, he can make it a decent one. As Dustin Black, nice little 2-man game between him and Evo Higgins. Dustin Black now on the board. He cuts the lead to 7 with 4 minutes to play here in the first. Black's also had a little bit of a sophomore slump. I haven't really talked about it yet, as we finally forced Perry into a miss, but Dustin Black struggling a little bit this season, as here we go with Higgins. He's blocked. He'll try it again. Blocked again. For a 3rd time, it's closed down upon, this time by Vic Oliver. Oh my goodness. Failing to cash in on an opportunity there on the fast break. Still down by 7. And open for 3 is McIntosh. No good. But Perry has it stripped. And then Fabian Swanson saves it off of the All-American. Great job getting back, as Swanson is fighting hard down there against Perry. And Perry does grab the board over 15. But Fabian goes basically head over heels to save the ball off of Perry's leg. Ref points in the other direction. It's not pretty right now. Some missed opportunities on offense, but you gotta say that Fordham is trying their damnedest to compete, and they're playing up with the Charlotte 49ers and the 16th ranked team in the country. 25-18, approaching 2 minutes to play, as Murphy almost loses the ball again as the struggles continue, but he does make a nice pass. Kaya Hendry, 15 feet away. We cut it to a 5-point game. And that 5-point game would turn into an 8-point game before the break, as Charlotte hits their 3rd 3-pointer on the half in 15 tries. If there's one thing this zone is doing well, it is forcing them, one of the worst teams from beyond the line in the league, into a lot of 3-point opportunities, which they're not cashing in on. Obviously, stopping this man right here comes first and foremost, and we're just not doing that today. But in terms of stopping the inside game and living with what they do beyond the line, we've been doing a great job in that aspect. Charlotte only shoots around 27% from 3 and shooting 3 of 15 from the half. Safe to say we're doing a good job in that aspect. Got to keep letting them try to beat us with their 3-point attempts. As we begin the second half on defense, Nick McIntosh again missing from 3. He's one of the best passers in the A10, but he's had really a tough time shooting today, as Higgins pulls up in transition. Nice little baby J, as he and Preston Murphy got to get going. Higgins only 2 for 7 on the game, as him and Murphy, their struggles have really been the difference. As inside, nicely done, Don Blaylock. Really having a great game today. Like I said, he's the only underclassman starter in this lineup. He's a good 3-point threat, but he's got 10 on the game for the 49ers, as Murphy, a little errant shot there. Perry grabs his 4th miss. Nick McIntosh, one of the best passers in the league, finds an assist there, as Perry makes Preston Murphy pay for missing that steal in the zone defense. That's about as easy as it gets for the first team preseason All-American. Now things starting to slip a little bit for Fordham. A basket here makes it a 10-point game. McIntosh looking for another assist. No way. No way. DeAndre Perry again from 3. Great closeout by Fabian Swanson. And he still gets to go. That's his 3rd 3 of the contest. Oh man, we got to try to weather this storm, as Charlotte stays in the man-to-man. Nice move inside. Pennapinkala with the muscle and the finesse on the same play. Showing off the repertoire today, 14 for Bennett Pincala, who had a little bit of a hot seat last episode. With Corey Terrell breaking out last episode, Pincala was really starting to feel threatened and for his starting center position. Maybe this is his curtain call right here. Maybe this is just showing the Coach Carter that he does not want to give it up without a fight. Evans for three, no good, but somehow the smallest guy on the floor grabs the board. It's Nick McIntosh, who then is left uncontested from mid-range. McIntosh is a 6'3 senior, and he's been doing a great job facilitating today. He's actually threading double-digit assists today as Dustin Black looks for an assist on his own right. Preston Murphy, finally an appearance from our team captain, well, one of them at least, as the senior from three nets it just when we need it. Both Preston and Evangelo have really had their struggles today, but you got to think if one of them can catch fire here at the end of the game, that might be just what the doctor ordered to get us back in the game. Preston Murphy looking backdoor as the great teamwork continues. Great design play by Coach Carter. Timeout Charlotte as the Fordham Rams have come within 6 points with 4 minutes to go. Great back pick by Dustin Black. Like I said coming into the episode, he's had his struggles and his sophomore slump, leading the team in turnovers and also shooting a lot less efficient on the year, but that is a great screen just where we need it. Preston Murphy, no good there as DeAndre Perry grabs his 8th board, time ticking down, becoming a factor as Higgins tries to draw the charge on Vic Oliver, but to no avail as he doesn't sell it well enough to the refs, and Oliver can pretty much put this game away. Nick McIntosh with his 10th assist as Vic Oliver, the 6'9 junior, puts in the free throw, makes it a baker's dozen ball game. And with 2 minutes to go, just not enough time to overcome it. It'll be a 13-point Fordham loss, 69-56. Very valiant effort. And I think outside of this wicked stat line from DeAndre Perry, there was a lot of wins today. Before Charlotte's big surge there late, we were actually winning in the second half. Unfortunately, our players were very hot and cold, led by Pincala, who, despite playing against some of the best defenders he's seen so far in his career, had his best career game, dropping 16, 8, and 2 blocks. Hendry played well, but Murphy and Higgins were both held in check and very effective or ineffective, I should say, for most of the game. Until the end, both of them kind of caught fire a little bit late there, but a little too late. Swanson battled well down low. I think the bigs did well in the zone. We were only out-rebounded by 5 playing the 3-2 the entire game, and we were actually out-rebounding them at the half. And Charlotte shot a measly 7 for 25 from three-point range. Overall, I think we held tough, and we're going to need to keep the vote of confidence as we play a second game in a row away from home against an A10 title contender, and I think we should leave this gym with our heads held high. But yep, that second game in a row against a title contender. It is St. Joe's, and the last time we saw these Hawks was the conference tournament last year. They barely missed a first round bye, finishing 5th out of 12 playoff teams, but they did eliminate us, and we did compete in that game. Fabian Swanson actually set a career high of 24 points in that game. The loss was a little bit larger this time, unfortunately, as Fordham was deep into foul trouble, and that was really the X factor today. With Murphy and Pincala fouling out, Hendry and Swanson also finished with 4 personals. So guys like KJ Bigsby and Chen Lee try to pick up the slack, which is just not a recipe for success going deep into your bench like that against the A10's top scorer, Jere Calloway, who poured in 24 and 7 on the Fordham Rams. 16-point loss this time around. And so we're going to end episode 27 back in the Bronx. It's a battle of winless teams in the conference with fairly similar team stats and similar paths to 10-win records at this point in the season. George Washington hasn't made much noise in this series, but this is probably the best team they've constructed. They've just had the same rotten luck with their conference schedule as we have. 25th ranked Temple and Charlotte, who now rise to 11th in the most recent top 25. That's who GWU open up their conference slate against, and their defensive firepower is what sets them apart from other teams in the conference. Terea Snell, he oozes potential as a strong 6'11 sophomore, and Overa Smith, number 25, good 3-and-D guard, but it's Steph Baptiste who is the game changer. Not only is he the top defender in the conference, he may very well be the best defensive player in the nation. 1.3 steals per game from a 6'8 forward is already impressive. Add on being the country's second leading shot blocker, and you have an X factor to guide you through one of the tougher conferences in college basketball. Feels good to have an appearance back in the Bronx, guys, especially with the turnouts getting larger and larger the better we get. It's good to see less empty seats once again as the 0-2 George Washington Colonials, they travel to 0-2 Fordham as someone is getting the first conference win today. Bit of a fight there for the jump ball, but it's George Washington who wins the tip and gets out to the early 4-1 lead as we still look for our first field goal 2.5 minutes into the game as Murphy isolates against O'Vara Smith, one of the better defensive guards you'll see in the conference. But Murphy with that free throw and the first bucket has the first 3 points for Fordham, trying to put to rest that tough shooting day against the Charlotte 49ers just last game. As now he grabs a rebound as well. He's doing it all here in the early stages for Fordham. 2 minutes off the clock. We got a chance for our first lead as now he records an assist to Fabian Swanson. I got to talk a little bit about Fabian Swanson. It's been a better statistical year for him, but his efficiency hasn't been as good. It's fell from his junior year. Only 40% field goal shooting for our starting power forward, but it's good to see him finally knock down a jump shot there. What a pass, though, on the next possession. Oh my goodness. The 6'2 freshman DJ Bradshaw with a veteran pass. And that is Baron Wheeler finishing it off underneath Bradshaw. What a find there, as he is a freshman that receives plenty of minutes for this George Washington club. 12-10, Colonials back out in front as it is O'Vara Smith who draws to his way as he scans, looks for Darian Mincy, who has it blocked, but it's right back into the arms of a Colonial player. Unlucky there as Wheeler puts it in. And the Colonials jump out to a 16-12 game. Not as much offense this episode, but a kind of a nice change of pace as there's more good defense displayed by Fordham. Kind of a nice change of pace after the shootouts we saw last episode for a little bit more defense being played this time around here in episode 27. It's Corey Terrell here with the mismatch. He struggled against Charlotte, but a nice find there. Murphy off the mark, but it falls into the arms of Fabian Swanson, who battles on the glass. He did plenty of battling last episode against DeAndre Perry and company. And here he is again crashing the glass at a high level. Terea Snell, now no good. As our big continue to win the battle down low, and a beautiful pass inside. Milos Filipovic helps tie up the game as he immediately checks in. Has that one play per game. I talked about it last episode. The freshman from Eastern Europe doesn't play a lot, but when he does, he always records that one per game. That one good play per game. But yeah, Preston Murphy, another bucket. And now this one is the heat check. A little out of his range, or so you might have thought. Preston Murphy hits one from the parking lot. How far is that from behind the line? Borderline Steph Curry range. And the ball doesn't even graze the rim going down. Nothing but net for number 4. And I think he came out with a vengeance. I think he was frustrated after he kind of let down the team in the Charlotte game and came on a little bit too late for us to make a comeback. Not this time around, as Hendry, wow, he looked like he got fouled there on the reach-in, but I don't know how the ref didn't call a travel or a reach-in, but now they call the foul, and it's on Steph Baptiste as Murphy takes it and goes against the zone. A 3-point play as he's up to 14 on the game. Still got 4 minutes to play here in the first half, and Murphy looks like he's threatening a career night here early, as he almost single-handedly brings us back within a possession. 2:10 to go. 2 0-2 teams hungry for that first conference win against the first winnable game they've had. Here's Michael Murray, the backup point guard. Mid-range, I don't know where Bennett Pincala was. He was caught napping there. But there's Steph Baptiste for points 5 and 6. Here it goes. Higgins inside, but it's closed down upon. Honestly, I think that was one Bennett Pincala should have had, but he's been struggling to finish around contact here in his freshman year, and that's continued. Higgins narrowly misses the steal as Michael Murray, he sets up his troops as he looks for teammates. As it's a bounce pass and a reversal to Gene Stivers for 3. A 6'8 junior who only averages 7.5 minutes a game, but he's already got 9 in the first half. Can Chen Lee and Bennett Pincala get some points back? They do, to at least keep this within arm's length. But not a great way to end this first half. Some blown coverages for mid-range and 3-point land as Kai Hendry almost turns it over to end the half. 10 seconds to go, a bit of a mismatch here. Preston Murphy against Terea Snell makes him touch the floor. What a highlight play for Murphy as it's Kai Hendry knocking down the 3. If you thought Preston Murphy couldn't do anything more to add to his highlight reel here in the first half, think again. As the 6'4" senior out of Trent, New Jersey, he has an electric assist thanks to Tereus Snell not being ready to cover the lightning quick guard. What a way to cut it to a single possession game, as this was actually a very well played offensive game near the end of the half. We've gone back to man-to-man, and we are within a bucket. Gene Stivers off the bench scoring 10 to lead the Colonials. But Preston Murphy, your man of the half with 15, 2, and 2. But he is doing it all and then some. He needs some assistance from the boys in white. As Hendry will get things going here, our first offensive possession. There's no way they forgot about him on the first offensive possession. Their coach is livid. How do you let the kid who's dropped 15 on you out of a possible 36 points be uncontested like that? O'Vera Smith, though, he's got it the answer. That one looked even farther than the Preston Murphy ball we saw earlier. Man, that's his first tray ball. As nice dish inside, beating the press as Evangelo Higgins uses those long strides to beat that trap and set up Fabian Swanson down low, who continues a very sturdy performance. Tereus Snell looks for a teammate. It's Steph Baptiste who is sent back. Bennett Pincala for his second block. Nicely done there. We got to convert, though, off of these blocked shots and the stops, but we can't. And that's what's keeping Fordham out of the lead. Very frustrating turn of events there as O'Vera Smith records his third assist, and the Colonials are back up by 4. It's unfortunately, once again, these missed opportunities in transition, just like the Charlotte game, as we almost get another stop there too. That's a 50-50 ball we have to have, but Darian Mincy makes us pay for not collecting the loose change. Mincy with 11 as we nearly turn it over there on the press, just getting sloppier and sloppier as the game goes on is Fordham as we try that back pick play, no avail. This time Hendry not as open, so Murphy will take things into his own hands, drawing the double underneath the block. He kicks it out, rotates it around to Higgins. Hendry, 3 seconds to go, kick out. Murphy, nothing but net. Ice in his veins as Murphy has 23, threatening a career high tonight. We just gotta hope it does not come in a wasted performance. We need this win. If Murphy's gonna carry us like this, we gotta do it for him. But Higgins, he's trying to respond after a bad game against Charlotte, but this has not been anything better. It's actually been worse, as that's his 4th foul. Fouling a 3-point shooter. DJ Bradshaw, the 6'2 freshman, heads to the line for 3 free looks at it, as Higgins actually has to check out with still 0 points on the board. And we got 9 minutes to play here in the second. So Evangelo Higgins with a nightmare game against the Colonials. As Bradshaw checks in, he's passed the ball well tonight. He's going to make another one here to Tereus Snell. That's his 3rd assist. And Snell, the leading scorer on the year for the Colonials, gets 2 more and extends the game to 4. Colonials back on the attack after another missed opportunity. Another empty possession for the Rams. Snell at the block. We get the steal. Great hands there by Fabian Swanson as it's Black. Little hop step move by Milos Filipovic. He set up Murphy for a big layup earlier, and now he gets the favor return to him by Dustin Black. Inside, though, we don't get back in time. Tereus Snell now in double figures. Timeout burned by Coach Carter, as the lineup we're going with is Hendry. Dustin Black moves to the 2. Higgins, we need big minutes out of him. He's done pretty much nothing today, but he's got to turn it around and be the leader we know he is. We go with Swanson and Corey Terrell. That's the 5 out for Fordham as we try to complete this comeback, and it's just not happening right now. Bradshaw, nicely done there, as unfortunately Corey Terrell cannot beat him to the spot. Now it's a 6-point game, time running down for Fordham. Their best chance to get the first conference win is slipping away. Extra pass, Bradshaw. Good contest by Higgins, and he did it without fouling this time. Way to go. Murphy grabs his 5th rebound to go along with his points and his 4th assist. Higgins finally gets on the board with a field goal. Only 2 free throws to this point for our boy, but he finally knocks one down. 63-58, 2:25 left to go. Good defense by Fordham, perhaps setting up another chance to score. It's Swanson inside, bounce pass Higgins. This one is short. Perhaps not the guy you want to shoot. He had the one, but maybe a little bit of luck behind it as Zach Yates, the point guard, A little bit too eager there on that one. And maybe the same thing could be said for Kaya Hendry, who's blocked by Darian Mincy. Up ahead, crazy possession, but it's short. O'Vera Smith blows the gimme, and Fordham gets lucky. Under 2 minutes to play now. It's a 5-point contest. It is Kaya Hendry, the hot shot freshman, for 3. Let's go! Fordham's back within a bucket. Hendry is balling today as he reaches his season average. 9 points for the freshman as he's made 2 threes today, and now it is a steal on the press as Fordham has a chance to take the lead or at least tie it. And it looks like Fabian Swanson's going to be up to him, who gets fouled off of the nice pass by Preston Murphy. And earlier this game I talked about Swanson, a career low in field goal percentage, but it's been a career high in free throw percentage. 81% from the stripe for Fabian Swanson as he knocks down both to tie up this game. Fordham 63, the Colonial 63. 90 seconds left to play, both teams vying for their first conference win. Zach Yates wants to post up to Snell. It'll get kicked around to Mincy for 3. It's short, but Snell on the glass. It is blocked by Swanson, but they call goaltending on the 6'9" senior from the Bronx. And this one is about as close as it gets. I can't even tell if that's goaltending or not, but I'll give the officials the benefit of the doubt on that one, but that one could have gone either way in my opinion. 65-63, minute 13 left to go. Still no need to be worried. Game clock still well in our favor as long as we score here. Higgins, who's been so good in the post all year long, can't score over the smaller defender. As Terea Snell, 1 rebound away from a double-double, and Fordham basically needs a stop here. We've got to try to get on these shooters, and once these guys shoot, we need to check out and limit them to only 1 possession. It's a big enough difference between shot clock and game clock where if they wait long enough and miss the shot and get it back, the shot clock turns off, and that'll be very bad. Rotate it around. It's Smith who wants to end it. It's short. Pulled down by Higgins for his 4th rebound, the biggest of the game. 30 seconds to go. Hendry might have had the lane, but he wants to take his time as it's knocked out of bounds by Baptiste. And so, Coach Carter, with the dead ball, will use a timeout as Fordham has one last chance at this. 27 seconds on the dot. They talk it over and inbound it to our hottest player, Preston Murphy. Does he want the ISO? Do we live and die with our best player? But the one thing we didn't expect is that they actually come out in the zone. It doesn't look like Preston Murphy's going to be able to drive through it as Higgins has it knocked away. But they call reach and foul. 13 seconds left to work with. But Fordham, unfortunately, is still 2 away from being in the bonus. 65-63, Murphy can't go ISO, they're still playing the zone. 10 seconds left. We go to Murphy, who wants to try to drive baseline, but the trap comes. They're hounding him. 3 seconds left. Murphy to Higgins for the win. It's short. Pulled down by Snell as he clinches a double-double, and Fordham falls short. 65-63. Really tough break there at the end of the game. Really smart call by GWU though to go zone on that last possession. I think everybody in the entire gym knew it was going to go to Preston on that last play, and that zone eliminated any isolation chances. But he does finish with 23, 5, and 4 in what might have been the best all-around performance of his career. We should have went to Fabian Swanson more. He was hot early and finished with a perfect percentage. Unfortunately, Evangelo Higgins is going through his first cold spell of his senior year. He's been superb all year, but episode 27 has not been all that kind to him. Pincala set a career high with 3 blocks as well. GW honestly deserved to win this game. We rode Murphy too much while they spread out their attack and rebounded a lot better than we did. Surprising to see them win with Baptiste being quite quiet today though. Nonetheless, our perfect home record is now snapped. You gotta wonder if it's the beginning of panic time for Coach Carter, as the feel-good story of Season 3 is starting to fade away a little bit, as this George Washington game was crucial to win because a home rematch with the 49ers is on the horizon and basically guarantees us an 0-4 start in conference play. Oh my goodness, Fordham pulls off the shocker. They just gave the 12th ranked Niners their third loss. It's the first win over a top 25 team in Coach Carter's Fordham tenure. The 3-2 zone, it worked again. But the difference this time around was coming out angry after letting the GW game slip away, and Murphy rebounding after his tough performance, and the first meeting between these two teams to post his second consecutive 20-point game. Charlotte again struggled to hit their threes, finishing 6 of 19 on the game from deep, while Perry turned it over 6 times trying to make plays against the zone. What a milestone, what a game. But the best part about the win though, this is sweet right here. We basically single-handedly dropped Charlotte all the way down to the bottom of the pools. Fordham nearly sent them to 12th in the country to unranked. That is what college ball is all about. And next up, the second worst offense in the league is on deck for us in a 9-7 LaSalle team. Despite their offensive ranks being hard to look at, they've pulled out some close, ugly conference wins to start out 3-1, so I hope we didn't take them lightly. And we didn't. A big home win as we beat the Explorers at their own game 67-66 as we hold on by a thread. Fabian Swanson was the hero as the senior tallied his career high with 24 points, while also tying his career high in steals and blocks as well. He made a 3 and lived at the free throw line. He basically did everything in this LaSalle game as the 6'9" senior, former JUCO transfer, hometown kid. He's putting on some really impressive performances here as we get deeper into conference play. Dustin Black also had his best game in weeks as well as he continues to try to overcome that sophomore slump. I know I was a little quick with it earlier, but so far in his sophomore year, Dustin Black actually leads the team in turnovers, and he's only shooting 5 of 15 from 3 heading into this episode, so pretty inefficient and leading the team in turnovers. So Dustin Black trying to turn things around after he came on the scene so hot last year. But that's going to be the end of episode number 27 today. We were able to salvage this rough start with 2 back-to-back wins to improve to 2-3 in conference play. Looks a lot better than 0-4 or 1-4 for sure. And who knows? We have a lot at stake. We have a lot to look forward to as well as this schedule starts to ease up a little bit. I believe we have Duquesne on the horizon. We have Rhode Island coming up soon, who has a really good offense in the league this year, but they're nothing really that special. Richmond as well, so some winnable games. We really get down and dirty and get a good look at what this team really is moving forward. So that's it for me, guys. Another episode of College Hoops 2K Legacy Mode action is in the books with our boy Coach Carter and his Fordham Rams. I hope to see you next time as we continue to make progress here in this season 3 of Fordham Hoops. Stay tuned for more, guys. I'll be back very soon with Fordham basketball. Peace out, everybody. Have a good night.